family. Good day and God bless, and welcome to another episode of Faith Talk. Listen, I'm glad that you are joining us today. I just want to have a candid conversation with you today. I just want to ask you just one question. Are you registered to vote? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Are you registered to vote? That's the question. If you are registered to vote, let me give you just a few quick points of information. If you live in the state of Florida, early voting begins this coming Monday, October 19th, and ends on November 1st. Listen, I'll repeat it again. Early voting, if you are in the state of Florida, begins this coming Monday on October 19th and ends on November 1st. If you are registered to vote, you have a civic duty. This is your chance to let your voice be heard. Let me reassure you, this is your chance to let your voice be heard. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. Your life matters. If you are a person of color, if you are in the minority and you are registered to vote, listen, there are no excuses to be had. You have an opportunity and an obligation to make sure that you are putting the people that lead the correct way, that are leading with the wisdom and knowledge that needs to be had in this country, in your city, and in your state. You have the opportunity and the obligation to make that happen. Listen, I know this is a faith-based show, but even though you may separate your Christian beliefs from your political beliefs, it's hard for me to believe that what's going on in the country right now can line up with the views and the beliefs of Jesus. That's just me. But if you are registered to vote in the state of Florida, you have the opportunity to vote early from October 19th to November 1st. So I want to encourage you to do that. I know that your timeline on Facebook and Instagram or whatever social media platform that you're on, I know that you have been flooded with this voting information, but here's another video to help you to understand that this election is important, not just for the presidential election and not just for the vice presidential election, but for your local offices. This is so important because your vote matters. Your vote counts. Your voice matters, and it needs to be cast from October 19th to November 1st. And if you're saying to yourself that you would like to go vote on election day on November 3rd, that's cool too. It's no skin off anybody's back. I just want to give you some information to help you realize if you don't want to wait till election day, you have the opportunity to vote from October 19th to November 1st. For all of my young people that are listening, if you are between the age of 18 and 25, this is your chance. If you have never voted before, you can make your vote count. You can make your voice count. Listen, I just want to encourage you. If you are between the ages of 18, 25, or 30, you have the opportunity. If you have not voted before, this is your chance to vote. I want to help you realize and understand that your vote matters, that your voice does matter. Don't let anybody tell you. Don't let anyone discourage you from voting. Don't let the current climate of our country and of our state, don't let that discourage you from voting. You need to let your voice matter at the polls. It was always instilled in me from the time before I turned 18 that my vote mattered and that my voice mattered, and not just for the presidential elections, but also for the local elections that happen even before the presidential elections are taking place. Presidential candidacies are taking place. So I want you to understand, for all young people ages 18 to 30, if you have not voted before, I need you to vote. If you are registered to vote, I need you to vote. So let me speak to the individuals who did not register to vote. If you did not register to vote and you are a person of color or a minority, If you did not register to vote because of your own thoughts and your own opinions and your own concepts and ideas about the government, about your theories about how your vote doesn't matter, how your voice didn't matter. If you are a person of color or a minority and you did not register to vote because you were not planning to vote, and if you are registered to vote and you are not planning to vote, if you are chanting the slogan, Black Lives Matter, I need you to do this one thing for me. Have several seats and cease from chanting Black Lives Matter, because out of one breath you can say Black Lives Matter, but you don't put your civic duty to use by registering to vote or vote. And we're all for equality, and we're all for making strides and making sure that our voice and life matters in this country, and you don't take a hand in that, you should probably cease from saying that. You should probably reevaluate your ideas and concepts about what it really is about being equal. Because if you're fighting for equality and you realize that one of the most important ways that you can fight for equality is who you vote for and who you put in office and who you make sure that your leaders are around the globe and around the country, if you don't use that civic duty as a Black person, as a person of color, as a minority, you are relinquishing your rights. You are relinquishing your equal rights. Yes, this country hasn't been equal to us, people of color. This country has not lived up to what it says in the Constitution about all men are created equal. Because if it really lived up to the Constitution, it would really state that all men and women are created equal. So we know that this country has not lived up to its end of the bargain when it comes to its Constitution. But because you have the opportunity now and the obligation to make sure that can change, your voice and your vote can make that change. So listen, if you are registered to vote and you were thinking in your mind you weren't planning on voting, please, I need you to reevaluate that. If you're not registered to vote and you purposely did not register to vote because you don't believe in politics or you don't believe in the government, please, if you have been chanting Black Lives Matter and you have been fighting for equality, I need you to understand that you need to have a seat, because you are not partaking in one of the most important ways that our voices and our lives can matter and be heard. So I want you to understand, especially for our young people who are from the ages of 18 to 30, please vote. I encourage you. Your voice does matter. Your vote does count. If anything of what I've been saying hasn't been of any merit to you, vote, 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 vote. I'll reassure you again, early voting in the state of Florida, because I know early voting already has begun in the state of Georgia, and early voting may have already begun in other states, but in the state of Florida, our early voting process begins October 19th and ends. The deadline is November 1st. So if you are registered to vote, please vote. If you are registered to vote and you aren't planning on voting, please vote. If you aren't registered to vote, I pray that God works on your heart, that the next time you have the opportunity to register to vote, that you do that. But please, sir, please, ma'am, if you have not voted before and you're not planning to vote, and if you're not registered to vote and you're always chanting Black Lives Matter and you're about the equality of Black people in this country, I encourage you to have several seats, because you are not contributing in the way that needs to be contributed in order for our rights to be heard, for our voices to be heard, for the things that are on the table for leadership to change in order for this country to really become the United States of America. So listen, I want you to understand that we are working in this country to make Black excellence great again. So I want you to know that God is with us. I want you to take, no matter how long it takes, And in the state of Georgia, there have been lines, people waiting for hours. They want you to lose hope. They want you to lose hope. They want you to give up. They want you to give up from standing in the line. They want you to complain. They want you to get out of the line and get in your car and go home. They want you to be defeated. They want you to give up and lose hope that things can change. The devil is a liar, because your vote is going to be the vote that matters, that makes sure that change can happen in this country. Listen, I hope I didn't hold you too long. I just wanted to encourage you today on that. Remember, October 19th is early voting. And if you don't want to vote early, you want to go to the polls on election day, that's fine too. Just make sure that you make your voice count. I'm your man, Matthew McKinnon. I hope you enjoyed today. Listen, come join us next week as we have another great episode for you. God bless you, family. Have a good day.